Hello, my divine souls. Welcome to Spiritual Bloom, where we bloom within our consciousness, with your spiritual guide and twin flame coach Neha. In today's episode, we will be covering a topic which many people they don't talk about. That is understanding and activating your North Node. I think you have heard a lot about North Node, South Node, but in this video, we will explore what North Node is, how to activate it, and what happens when your North Node is actually activated. So have you ever felt pulled towards something that both excites and terrifies you at the same time? Like, there's a version of you waiting to emerge, to be discovered, but you can't fully access it yet. You know you have the potential, but you can't fully access it yet. That feeling may be connected to your North Node. So in astrology, the North Node represents your soul's evolutionary direction. It points towards the qualities, experiences, and lessons you're here to grow into this lifetime. Whereas the South Node, on the other hand, represents what feels familiar, like your comfort zone, past patterns, inherited tendencies, and emotional defaults. So the difference between the two is that the South Node is who you've been till now, whereas the North Node is who you are becoming or you want to become. And the journey between the two is the real work of transformation. That's why it's very difficult for people to reach towards the North Node. Many are stuck in the South Node. Now first let's understand, for many people who don't know what North Node is. Let me tell you, the North Node is not just a planet. It is not a planet. It's a mathematical point where the moon's orbit intersects the path of the sun. But symbolically, it carries enormous spiritual weight. Think of the North Node like a soul contract or evolutionary path, your highest growing potential, the direction of life that keeps nudging you towards. But the North Node often feels uncomfortable, unfamiliar, vulnerable, risky at the same time, but meaningful. Meanwhile, the South Node, how does it feel? The South Node, when you are operating in your South Node, it feels easy, automatic, safe, repetitive, and sometimes stagnant, extremely stagnant. So one of the biggest misunderstanding between this North Node and South Node is that people say that South Node is bad, but it's not, because your South Node contains gifts, talents, wisdom, and survival skills. But when you over and identify with it, your growth stops, and that is how you become stagnant in life. Because your soul didn't come here to repeat old cycles endlessly. It came here to evolve. So when you focus too much on your South Node, what happens is you remain stagnant. You become too comfortable. It doesn't let you come out of your comfort zone. Now, why do people feel so scared to tap into their North Node? Like, why does North Node feel so hard? Most people, they resist their North Node at first. They don't like it. Why? Because the North Node demands expansion. And expansion requires what? Expansion requires uncertainty, emotional exposure, vulnerability, identity shifts, releasing control issues. And you have to become someone new, from older version to new version. So your nervous system prefers the familiar, even if the familiar is limiting and stagnating. That's why many people, they stay trapped in the South Node patterns. And the South Node patterns has repeating relationships, avoiding visibility, overworking, people pleasing, perfectionism, external validation. Because the South Node says what? It says that stay where it's safe. You feel safe. That's why you want to stay in your south node and you don't want to tap into your north node. Whereas the north node says grow beyond who you've been. Grow beyond what you have been till today. Grow into your highest version. That's why many people, they remain stuck in their south node and they can never tap into their north node. Now, you must be thinking that I'm talking about north node and south node. So how to find your north node? How do you know that you know how to tap into this? How will you know? So, to understand your north node fully, you should understand that how your soul is meant to grow and where growth happens in your life, or what supports or challenges your evolution. For example, north node may require confidence, self-expression, surrender, structure, responsibility, and courage. This house placement tells you where the lesson unfolds in career, relationships, spirituality, family, or self-identity. Your north node journey is extremely personal. It's extremely personal, that's why it's become very difficult to tap into your north node. Now, your south node is seductive. It feels like a trap because it works. Why it works? Because over the years it helped you survive. You survived over the years being in your south node. But survival and fulfillment are not the same thing. You have survived through tapping into your south node. But if you want to go and tap into your north node, it's not fulfilling. To fulfill yourself, you have to tap into your north node. Many people unconsciously cling to south node behavior because it brings temporary comfort. It's your comfort zone. South node is comfort zone. Whereas north node brings transformation, uncomfortable places, and a high frequency. You have to be tapped into your high frequency to come into your north node. So, the south node becomes extremely toxic when it turns into stagnation, emotional loops, or fear-based living and attachment. Your soul eventually begins creating friction. Your soul starts understanding that you can no longer stay in your south node and it feels suffocating. And when you start feeling suffocating in your south node, that is why people, they experience what? They experience burnout, dissatisfaction, repeated lessons, or emotional restlessness. And sometimes when you're going through the awakening process, you feel spiritual emptiness, like there's something missing. Because at that moment, life starts pushing you towards your north node, because the universe wants you to tap into your north node. Until and unless you don't tap into your north node, you can never be into that higher frequency or become the best version, the highest version of yourself that you're supposed to be. Now, activating your north node. Many people, they say, I have tapped into your north node. But activating your north node, how do you do that? Activating your north node is not about becoming perfect overnight. It's about consciously practicing unfamiliar energy. And activation happens through repeated choices. In your daily life, when you repeat certain choices, small choices, consistent choices, and that is how you begin activating your north node. Now, how to do it? I will just give you a short guide as to how to activate and tap into your north node. Firstly, you have to identify your default patterns. You have to ask yourself that what behavior feels automatic, or why do I stay small? Why do I rely on people for emotional safety? Or why does the cycle keeps on repeating? So these are clues to your south node conditioning. But you have to identify your default patterns, and when you identify it, you become aware, and awareness is the first breakthrough. Second step is lean into your discomfort. I'm not talking about comfort here. Lean into your discomfort, the things which feels discomforting, hard. Try to step into that. Take it one day at a time. You don't like running, you don't like to go for running, but you want to run. Run for 5 minutes, run for 10 minutes, and slowly and gradually increase that. Your north node rarely feels natural at first, and that is normal. It's not easy. Discomfort is not always a sign that you are on the wrong path. Sometimes it's a proof that you are evolving. So in this path of tapping from south node to north node, growth often feels like speaking when you normally stay silent, or resting when you normally overwork, trusting when you normally control, or leading when you normally follow. Because the north node growth stretches your identity. It does not let you stay in your old identity anymore. It rips away your old identity. Step 3. Follow what makes you feel alive. Because your north node often activates through curiosity, inspiration, creative desire, and emotional expansion. Pay attention to what energizes you, what you feel, what you like doing. What are the activities that energizes you? Not what impresses others, or not what feels safe. What makes you feel more alive? Understand that and follow it. That's important. When you know what makes you feel more alive, it might be discomforting, but slowly and gradually try to step into that discomfort, and that's important. Step 4. Release over identification with your past. Many people, they define themselves by old pain, old relationship, old limitation, old stories. But your north node requires reinvention. You have to reinvent yourself in order to tap into your north node. You cannot evolve while clinging to an outdated identity. That identity is gone, it's dead. Let it die, let it rest in peace. You cannot evolve, you cannot tap into your north node if you are still clinging on to your past. You have to come out of it. You have to forgive people, let them go, forgive your situation, forgive everything, and move into a new identity, and let that outdated identity rest in peace. At some point you must stop asking that who have I been? Oh, I was so sad. Oh, I was so depressed. Instead of that, you start asking that who am I becoming? Who am I becoming? I have become a stronger person because I survived my past. I am so confident because I raised my self-awareness. I raised my self-esteem. So don't cling on to your past. That is gone. Let it go. The 5th step, embody that energy daily. Because north node activation happens through embodiment. It's not just knowledge. It's not just journaling or watching astrology videos or spiritual videos. Embody means practicing the energy in real life. If your north node is asking for courage, learn to take risk. Take risk in business. Take risk in doing that art. Take risk in making that video which you always wanted to make. Vulnerability. Try to be vulnerable. Be open emotionally with people whom you trust. Discipline yourself. Create a structure that today I will be doing 30 push-ups, or today I'll be going for half an hour running or walking. Create a discipline. Bring that creativity outside. Try to make decisions alone. The key is repetition. Repetition meaning repeating that same uncomfortable habits daily, because your nervous system learns through experience. And that is how you activate your north node. Now, how you'll know that you are aligning with your north node? You will know gradually that you are aligning with your north node when your life feels meaningful even when it's difficult. Even though you are going through extremely hardships in your life, it feels meaningful. You outgrow your old environments. You feel emotionally stretched. New opportunities appear in your life. Fear and excitement, they coexist. It's not just fear. Fear and excitement, they coexist. And you stop seeking constant approval. Your identity, your new identity evolves rapidly and you feel more authentic. You don't do things to please people. You do things for yourself. What makes you happy? What makes you confident? You start doing that. North node alignment doesn't always feel comfortable, but it feels real. It feels authentic because you are accepting your authentic self. And when you start accepting your authentic self, when you push harder towards uncomfortable spaces, that is where you activate your north node. So the north node is ultimately about soul evolution. When you tap into your north node, it means that you have left the old behind and you want to evolve, you want to ascend. So it's the path that transforms survival into purpose. So your south node may explain where you started, the old you, but your north node reveals where your soul wants to go, because the soul knows it all. It knows it all. And when it finds discomfort in your south node, automatically it will start pushing you to take risk, to step into discomfort. Things which feels fearful, you will do it because you want to be somewhere, you want to reach somewhere. And every time you choose courage over fear, growth over comfort, and authenticity over approval, you activate that path a little bit more. You do not need to become your north node overnight. You simply need to move towards it consistently every day with your discipline. Because your destiny is not found in staying who you've always been. That is gone, and let it go. That is past. It's found in becoming who you were always meant to be. So, the story between the south node and north node is simply that the south node is your old identity, the comfortable one, the easy one, the easy road, the easy path, easy life. But your soul, when it wants to evolve, it will push you towards tapping into your north node, which is hard, fearful. You need courage. But how do you remain consistent? By maintaining discipline, by doing things, and by trying those things which feels harder, which feels difficult, which feels impossible, but you are creating it. You're creating it like a structure each day, being consistent, being disciplined. And that is how you build a structure, and that is how you tap into your north node. From an old identity of south node to a new identity of north node. And that is what happens when you tap into your north node. You become a different version of you. You tap into your highest frequency and your highest potential. So if you like this episode on north node activation, you can like, share and subscribe. For any kind of personal guidance, you can WhatsApp or email me. My contact details have been given in the description box and mentioned in the video. I provide 10 to 15 minutes demo before booking any counseling or guided session. I thank all of you for liking my videos, for supporting and subscribing me. Please show some support in my Instagram channel also. The link is provided in my description. Thank you for watching and thank you for tuning in. I'll see you again in another episode.